Yeah, so I wanted to show off our new setup where we're using leap slam. So you can leap slam and then blink, and then you can leap slam. So you may think, oh, the leap slam looks kind of slow, but the main benefit is you jump over like those gaps. You jump over monsters. You have you have phasing. You just go through the monsters. You can still get hit by the monsters, but you just ignore a lot of terrain. You ignore a lot of monsters, and with the combination of the blink as well, and then with our stuff auto respawning on top of it. The density is pretty high on this map right now. But yeah, I was also not really focusing because I was talking about the. But yeah, now I'll show off a little bit of the clear, and then I'll talk about what we've changed to be able to enable this, and I'll show off our damage, and then the setup to get, because yeah, we're a witch minion with the leap slam, so you have to be able to use leap slam. And then yeah, comboing it with the blink. You get 2 leap slams and then a blink. And then you can see how when you get out of range of your minions, they instantly respawn. Like the clear is insane, the damage is crazy, the mobility is sick to be able to ignore terrain like this where you would have to walk around. You just leap over it, so you just ignore terrain. You just, all this shit that you would have to walk around, you know, just go right through it. It's really sick, and then helps your minions respawn, and then combo with blink. It's so insane. So yeah, we'll show off this and then I'll get into the build now. I think that's enough showing. I'll clear the rest of the map at the end so you could stay and look forward to that, but for now, let's go through the build in our hideout. Okay, so basically wanted to run the Trenchtimbre for the +4 because levels are so impactful in PoE 2. My damage on the Frost Mages was like 15k, and now it's at 30,000. So I pretty much doubled my DPS. Just this was like 80%. I lost 1 Frost Mage, but I still have 11. And then, yeah, it's still with Fork, Arcane Tempo, Gold Pen, Scattershot, wildshards. And then the Hound is a 36, and the Hound is doing 47k. So pretty much, I still have my Scepter with the +5, the Spirit, mana regenerate, cast speed. I got rid of the shield, Mahuatl's Machination. This shield, so gave up like the 36% increased max mana, and then I went this chest plate instead. So you have 5 sockets when you corrupt it. It's 4 normally. You corrupt for 5, and I did the increased max mana per socketed rune or soul core, and the max Ellie, the all Ellie res per socketed rune or soul core, and so we get 35 increase max mana, and then 50% all Ellie res, so that this is a 150 res. It's a lot. It's like you rolling 3 suffixes of 50 res, and then the prefix is like multiple max mana mods, which is pretty sick if you think about it. A really nice chest, and yeah, we lost 1,000 mana, but then we gained double damage. Like, I think it's worth it. And there's a few other, you could get Spirit, you could get Rarity, etc. But like Spirit, it would only be 50 Spirit. And that's like a single mod on an Ami, or like a Scepter, or whatever. Even like a chest plate, technically. Yeah, a single mod. Where I'm talking about this is multiple mods with these mods, and that's what's making this chest plate so strong. And like I replaced my old chest, so I lost some Spirit, lost the mana regen rate, and yeah, we still have 11 minions, because when you get it up to 37, it hits a breakpoint for the Spirit, and so they reserve 1 less per, so then I saved 11 Spirit, and then as well you could put a rune or soul core in the Trenchtimbre, and because it's a martial weapon, a mace is a martial weapon, a scepter is not, and like the mace is part of the leap slam, I'll get into that. Yeah, I could put soul core of as Kappa, and that gives you 15 Spirit. And then this whole thing is leap slam, no shield charge now, and the leap slam, you can run martial tempo, more stun buildup. It can create consecrated ground. I didn't even point that out while I was mapping, but when you land with it, So then you almost have perma consecrated ground. So like, what if you actually went a life setup where you had giga regen, and like, let's say you land with it, and now you get to chill with it, and then maybe even maybe duration. Where like, I haven't tried to fully scale this yet. I just started it, but imagine a life setup, and then it's based on your max life before you reserve. So like, you could regen a lot of life on this consecrated ground. It's a tiny effect though. Like, it's a little tiny circle, so it's mostly for you, not really, but it would help the minions a little bit. And we're not really a life setup, so it's, if this was mana, it'd be crazy, but the reduced curse effect is still good. And then regenning the minions, and yeah. And like, this is pretty free. And then I also put Wind Wave on my Leap Slam. Technically, you could have another link as well. And like, I could put some of the blink stuff on there, like Unbreakable. Yeah, so I just ran Wind Wave, Holy Descent, Overpower, and Martial Tempo. And then yeah, that's what it's been looking like. And it's mostly sick because of, like I say, skipping the terrain and the and going over the monsters. And the reason we're able to use this is because when you put on a mace, now you're not just a scepter. So when you click on gems, I went and looked at the gems for mace, and then I was like, yo, Leap Slam, but then I had to take a lower level one, so I recommend buying a level 7 skill gem if you don't have it, so that you can get a lower level one that has a lower strength requirement, because this is 178 and then mine is 52, so it's a lot less, and I can actually use it. And then it doesn't change the like speed, I believe, because 0.65 and then 0.5 and then it's 0.65, 0.5. So I don't think it changes anything of that, just damage basically. And so this is really good for mobility. And then yeah, you would need a level 7 gem to get the level 7 one. And then yeah, shield charge. You need a shield for it, and there's a bunch of other ones, but yeah, there's Rolling Slam and Stampede I was thinking about, but I went with Leap Slam, going over the target's really sick, and then the combo with the with the blink, like I say, and then it tries to shield charge instantly right after if you keep holding it, which is really sick. And then you also change the Leap Slam so it's attack without moving, because if you don't use this and you put your Leap Slam too far, it runs to try to Leap Slam. You're never in range, so you have to then keep your mouse at the perfect range to be able to Leap Slam if you don't use this, so you should definitely enable this. And I believe I had done it to the blink as well, even though it just works with blink. Like, if you do max range, it just uses it. So that's the only thing. Yeah, and then on my blink it was Ingenuity and the Unbreakable. And then, yeah, my Hound from last vid, the no explode, basically said, dude, everyone wanted the explode, I want the explode. We just have Feeding Frenzy, Minion Mastery, Fire Exposure, Magnified Effect. And technically you could also have a full 6-link Mace Strike as well, which I was just playing with a little bit too, for fun. Since, yeah, when you put on a Mace that gives you +4 Minion. Oh yeah, I didn't explain how this gets the extra level. So this is a 3, and I believe that you corrupt, so this is not guaranteed, but yeah, you corrupt these, and it re-rolls the number first, I think. So you could corrupt a 1, and it can re-roll into a 3, which is a 1 in 3, obviously, if it re-rolled. So it already had to hit the 1 in, like, 4 to actually re-roll and upgrade the mod. But, and then if it hits a 3, and it hits a multiplier, because now a Valorb can multiplier the mods on a unique item, not rare, unique only. So it takes the 3, and the Valorb can do 1.22 times. So I think the 3 becomes a 3.66, and then it rounds up into a 4, because it doesn't add up. Like, it doesn't make sense. You shouldn't be able to get a 4. Besides it rounding up. So, and then we've seen a few cases of this where it's 0.66 and then it rounds up, or 0.67, yeah. So that's how I think the 4 is being made. And then I don't think you need to corrupt a 3, because I think it re-rolls the mod first, the number first, and then does the upgrade, like the increase. And it's really, really rare. You'd have to do so many. So yeah, I just bought it. It was a 52D for a +4, super sick. This was 10D for the max mana and the Ellie res. And then empty sockets, 5 empty sockets. I just put the max mana in. I was hoping that the patch would make it so that these would be cheaper, because I'd buy one with ruined sockets, but it appears like the market already balanced out, and it was only 10D, which is really... This used to be like 40 or 50 when I bought the Mahuatl for 17. This was the expensive item, and the Mahuatl was cheap. And it's like, well, I went with the Mahuato. Like, I'll even show you just for fun. Well, I was gonna put it on, but then it would 7,000. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, that thing can still give me 1,600 mana. And then I redid my belt where I just got reduced charm charges used. I got increased charm effect duration, and I hit a corruption for dex, which is pretty cool. And then I replaced my rings with Giga mana regen rate. So I still have the mana, the res, chaos res, etc. Trying to hit the reses that I need. Which with this chest, yeah, I redid everything. That's why I'm mentioning it. The chest gave me 150 Ellie res, so it changed my build completely because my chest used to give me chaos and res there. And I lost the spirit and the mana regen rate, so I wanted to gain back the mana regen rate somewhere else. I wanted to keep the chaos rate, so I had to balance all this. I ended up getting T1 mana regen rate rings. And so we were at 670 regen, and now we're at 586. So we lost a little bit. We lost the 1,000 mana. That's basically the regen. If I had the 1,000 extra mana, but yeah, I was able to basically keep the regen. I want a little bit more at least. But this is good if we're like gaining a huge amount of damage. The damage on the things. Yeah, I showed 15k, now 30k. It's absolutely insane. Huge damage boost, and yeah, was able to keep the mana regenerate, most of the mana. I would want more mana still, and more regen and all that, but for now. And then, like I say, I actually tried to buff my charm some more too, because I was min-maxing my items around the chest plate, and then I figured I could corrupt it. And that's where even when I added this jewel, I just decided to corrupt it to try to squeeze out some more stats. Like even there's a bunch of good Val orbs. The waiting on the Val orbs these days, like it seems like it's really likely, basically, like if you use a Omen of Corruption, it's like a third chance, 1/3 chance to do something cool, and then like in some of the cases, 2 of the things is cool. Like it's not even that bad. And then when I'm buying items, I just buy a few of them and then just Val each of them, and not all of them are gonna brick, and then I can, yeah, I don't know. It feels like Valing is a real part of the crafting of, like, you kind of expect to have extra corruption mods, basically. That I haven't corrupted the rings because these were actually hard to get to balance around the chest. It was kind of annoying. And like I could do a different Ami. I actually had bought some just for fun. And then I chaos orbed them. But yeah, I have a bunch of different Amis potentially you could use. I was trying to hit some more useful stuff for our build, but then I hit like crit damage bonus and ES and ES, and that doesn't scale our ES because that scales ES and we have none because we converted it with Eldritch Batter and we have to scale mana. Yeah. This is super sick though. Oh, and I repathed the tree. I finally took out that extra minion life. I changed the pathing to here, and then I put it into damage because when we have all these extra levels from the Trenchtimbre, our thing's 39 and 36, so our dudes are at 15k. They were at 10k in surviving, I believe. So they actually have more life because of the levels than they had with that extra minion life on the tree, so I took that out. And he's at 23, yeah. I think he was at like 20. And then he even has some extra levels too through the gems, so the support gems. People have asked, what do I run on my Purity of Lightning? It's actually bugged where it doesn't reserve the spirit, so I just put all of them. But yeah, you only need clarity. But just for fun, I put cannibalism and all these because it doesn't... Yeah, I don't know. The funniest part is when you put all these and you see the spirit, and then look... and then mana regenerate just to show you. You would think it's not working, but yeah, I don't know. It's really sick though, going Trenchtimbre +4, and like technically, like I say, you could val it, but it's gonna be probably really hard to get your own like 4 through the corruptions. It's gonna be so many. And then yeah, this chest drops from the final boss, Arbiter. It's why I didn't go the chest earlier. It was really expensive, and the shield was cheaper, and the shield was actually a bigger bonus, and it gave us block, and I was able to try shield charge some more until I really don't want to because it goes in random directions. I'm good, bro. But yeah, I replaced my belt, my rings, my chest, and my new weapon, big damage boost, and like you could see our clear is crazy. So now it's time that I've went through everything. Let's clear the rest of the map now that I don't have to worry about explaining the builds. You understand what's happening already, and now I could just zoom. I'm gonna try to go fast. Look how you just jump over. You just jump over the monsters. You remember when you get body blow, you shield charge into them, you bonk them? No, I'm going over, bro. I'm too fast for the beyond spawning. Look, and I didn't even blink. Like, leap slam is what I wanted, man. What is this? Holy shit. And like, originally I think, oh, it's the same speed as walking. Meh. And then I realized, oh, I'm going over the monsters. I'm phasing. It's also created some situations. Here's a quick disclaimer. If you leap slam into a monster that's rolling, he can hit you multiple times. I had one beetle roll or something, and it like almost one-shotted me. So 5,000 mana. I had to spam my flask. I don't even know how I lived, but a single beetle roll melted me. It was just constant. Like, instead of just one hit and you get pushed, no. This was just constant hitting. And I especially feel it because I don't have the block from the shield anymore. So you notice every hit. I'm not evading, I'm not blocking. So when things hit you multiple times, you really feel it. I'll just randomly die. No. That's one. Yeah, so there was a upside of not phasing, of not being in the monsters. Then they hit you properly, but when you're phasing, weird stuff happens in the game. So just be aware. As an Avarice Shrine, which I noticed that the Avarice Shrine now says Greed Shrine, which I believe when we first got it, it still said Avarice when you got the buff, but now it says Greed, which I don't really know what happened there. Yeah, the clear's sick. Respawn, and then that was a rare. The damage. Foul Factory, by the way, is also so dense now after the patch. They added so many monsters. If you run a pack size map with Foul Factory, there's just so many monsters everywhere. It's insane. Look, I just jumped over a tree. Look, I just jumped over that. Helping my minions reposition too. Look, a ledge? Nope, I'm over. Hey guys, what's up? Minions made it too. I almost died, but you know, it's a good example of like, you gotta be careful still of being aware of where your minions are and what you're standing in and all that. Which, I using the blink, it's even better. I just save it, kinda. And I distract myself. Commentating. Ooh, audience with the king, I'm rich. I found so many of those and they're up to like 8D now per. One more. Rip. I don't even technically need to do the last ritual, but I will. Nice map. Now I'll start. And technically, when you've already cleared the monsters and you're just backtracking, you don't have to leap slam. It's not faster. It's only when going over like ledges or monsters that it's actually helpful. But doing it just to get around isn't necessary. So after the fact, you can path with normal pathing because it's the auto pathing of walking is really nice for getting around, where this will get stuck on doorways and walls and tiny little like parts of an edge. And you have to like actually, it just goes straight to the thing instead of like trying to auto path like walking. So that's the one thing I'll say. Look at that. Isn't that good? Oh, 6 mod, 7 mod? Dead. Bro, I remember PoE 1, they had like 35% extra life per mod. So that'd be like, that monster would have like triple life. And all the mods scaling it. And then the max reses were also like 90 before, and Crazy stuff. GG. This is a nice map. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the update with the Trenchtimbre, the big damage, the Morior Invictus chest. The unblinking eye did not cower and wail, they stood against the end. And hope you like the new belt with the charm effect duration and reduced charges on the dex. And it was the chest. Yeah, the chest has a 51 dex requirement, so I did raise my dex, by the way. It's insane. I gave up some int. And then, yeah, I got some dex through the belt corruption, and there was, was it, well, I had the Chaos Res on the Jewel. Yeah, no, I thought I had more dex through something else, but yeah, we're good. Well, either way. Like to shout out my Patreon and YouTube members who financially support the channel. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you to Rico, 549, David, Hannes, Cynic, Joe No Mercy, Salad, Austin, Alex, Johan, and Hate. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.